Testing, testing. Okay, yep. And I'm gonna pull it up over here. Testing 1, testing 2. It's gonna come back. I hear it coming back already. Yep. Testing, testing. Okay, yep. And I'm gonna pull it up over here. Good. All right, we back, brothers and sisters. So Q&A and welcome. If you here, if you tapping in and joining us, we're gonna stand and face Jerusalem, the city of our great King, Yeshua or Jesus, and we're going to say the Lord's Prayer to open up. All right? Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. In Jesus' mighty name, the Holy One of Israel, the Mighty One of Jacob, the King of Kings, and Lord of Lords. Amen. All right. So, brothers and sisters, welcome to another installment of Q'th and A'th. Q&A. And we just got off a lesson that we did earlier. Jesus or Yeshua, the God King of the Hebrew Negro slaves. Right? These are the scriptures. We started off in John chapter 1. We ended in Joel 3, and the kickers were 1 Timothy 6, 11 through 16, and Jeremiah 23, 5 through 8. I will post the verses, but the verses are actually also on the lesson links. So if you look in the description on YouTube, and if you look at the description on Facebook, you will actually see all the lessons all the scriptures for today's lesson, each Sabbath lesson, okay? I also want to put a reminder out there, when you watch our YouTube videos, brothers and sisters, what you need to do is make sure, if you're watching on YouTube, to change your settings and make sure the video quality is not on a weak video quality like some 340 or 720. Make sure it's on the highest setting, which is HD. It's like 2K, 4K. It's 1440, right, is what you need to be watching it on. That's how you're going to get the highest resolution every time, because we stream in HD. And this thing done did this again with these daggone scripts. Bro, yo, it's okay. I'm going to fix it. It's streaming. Yo, that's blowing me. That's blowing me. Never mind. I'm gonna fix it though. Never mind. Sorry, y'all. Y'all didn't hear that. So, make sure you watch our lessons with the highest of quality to, for your viewing experience. Okay. So other than that, brothers and sisters, like we said earlier, in the beginning and the end of the lesson, keep your brothers and sisters in prayer. Keep Brother Markel and Kayla in prayer. Keep Sister Lisa in prayer, Brother Tim. Our brothers and sisters watching all over. Keep the brothers traveling to spread the gospel to and fro every Sabbath. Keep our elders in prayer, our leadership in prayer, brothers and sisters, because we're truly doing the ministry and work of the Lord. So, keep your class where you're located. Pray for your class, wherever you're watching. Pray for your brothers and sisters in the truth, and pray for your own self daily. Watch and pray, okay? And, I'll also throw some fasting in there. You want to always throw some fasting in there. I say people need to be fasting at least once a month. We have a monthly fast right before the new moon. And matter of fact, what we're going to do is we're going to start this Q&A off in Zechariah, and I'm actually going to show you why we fast right before the new moon. Everything we do as an organization is biblical based, brothers and sisters. Let's go to the book of Zechariah. I'm going to show you something. The book of Zechariah. And we're going to go to we're going to start in Zechariah 7. And we're going to finish it off in Zechariah 8. Show you a little something. Excuse me. Ooh. It's like, nah, let me stop. Zechariah. Zephaniah. I'm at Zephaniah, Micah, Jonah. No, I passed it. Jonah, Nahum, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah. There we go. And we're going to pick it up at chapter 7. And we might as well start off in verse 1. So it says that Zechariah 7 and 1, and I'm just reading this, brothers and sisters, so you can understand our fasting, okay? And it came to pass in the 4th year of King Darius, right, that the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month, even in Chislew. So, you want to know what Chislew was or is? I'm going to tell you. It's the 9th month. All right? It's the 9th month. It's the name of the 9th month. But that's not it's a foreign origin. It's not a Hebrew word. The only Hebrew word that the Lord gave us for the months are Abib. So in our calendar, you'll see Abib, second Abib, and then after that, you'll just see month 3, month 4, month 5, because God didn't give them all names. It's just like the Sabbath. He named the Sabbath, but the rest of the days, day 1, day 2, day 3, but he only gave a name to the Sabbath, right? Of course, we got our heathen, bastardized, pagan names of everything, of our months and our, our days of the week. Like Monday comes from the moon, right? And so on and so forth. And the same thing with the months, but they go to different gods and goddesses, and it's a whole bunch of, or emperors. Sometimes it's emperors like August, Augustus, July, Julius. You get that madness as well. But anyway, you're just learning something on your way to learning something, as Brother Bowie would say. So then verse 4 says, then came the word of the Lord of hosts unto me, saying, verse 5, speak unto all the people of the land and to the priests, saying, when ye fasted and mourned in the 5th and 7th month, even those 70 years, did ye at all fast unto me, even to me? So the Lord's asking questions like, were you even fasting to me, right? When you did your fast? And he said the 5th and 7th month. But I'm going to show you that these fasts were done month to month. And you should at least, and this is why we fast at least once a month. So now Zechariah 8, and verse 18 says, Zechariah 8 and verse 18 says, and the word of the Lord of hosts came unto me, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the fast of the 4th month, and the fast of the 5th month, and the fast of the 7th month, and the fast of the 10th month shall be to the house of Judah joy and gladness and cheerful feasts. Therefore love the truth and peace. Why is it talking about feasts? How do you fast and feast? You don't fast and feast. When you fast, you're not eating or drinking anything for that whole fasting period. So if you were fasting right now on the Sabbath, then you wouldn't be eating or drinking until the sun went down, and you would have started on Friday at sundown and ended on Saturday at sundown, because that's a day of fasting. Now, sometimes the question comes up, can I fast for half a day? Sure, you can fast for, because it's not a commandment, you can fast for half a day. And even when we have the monthly fast as a church, that's not a commandment, but it's just something that's a good practice, because that'll help you get closer to God. It'll help grow your spirit, right? So I'm fasting as much as possible, just like we read Daniel fasted to get the Holy Spirit and to communicate with God and to commune with God. So let's show you why they were having a feast on the fast, but let's first show you that what a real fast is, okay? A real fast is when you don't eat or drink anything, okay? So let's go to the book of Esther and show you what a real fast is all about. Then we're going to go to the book of Samuel and show you why they were feasting and when they were feasting. Because I'm not going to front. I can show you proof that I do the same thing. Why am I feasting every month? I'm going to show you. I'm also fasting every month, fasting more than every month actually. But why? It's because we're showing you this is biblical. And we want to show you what a true fast is. And some you can fast and it could be, I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm sorry y'all. You can fast and it can be known, because I know you might be thinking, well, if you fasting, got to keep that to yourself. Yeah, well, we're going to show you some things. Esther 4 and 16. Esther 4 and 16. We're going to go to here, then we're going to go to Luke, and then we're going to come back to the Old Testament and end it in Samuel, and then we'll deal with some questions if we got some. Please, as soon as questions come in, please let me know so I know. I got my eyes on YouTube. Thank you, Brother Jonathan. Esther 4. Esther chapter 4, and we're going to pick it up in one verse. Esther 4 and verse 16. Matter of fact, we might as well just read 15. Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer, 16. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me. Oh, so somebody knew about somebody fasting, huh? Yeah. All fasts don't have to be secret. I can show you a lot of public fasts. Actually, I'm gonna prove it in Luke. And look at this. And neither eat nor drink. So that's what you do for a fast. You don't eat or drink. 3 days, night or day. See, this was a 3-day fast, no eating and drinking. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. Yo, I promise you, do this if you need to do this. That's all I'm gonna say. Because it works. Okay? So, long story short, they fasted and it got the Lord's attention, and they, got delivered by the Lord. The Jews did, from this fast. Excuse me. The fast is a petition to the Lord, brothers and sisters. And as we get closer and see the day approaching and the world's getting worse and worse, living in the worst times, trust me, you need to fast. Luke 5. Matthew, Mark, and Luke. I don't care if you don't like fasting. You still need to do it. We see our ancestors were fasting once a month at least. And then when certain big issues and events took place, they fasted more and often. So now take a look at this. Luke 5. Is somebody snoring? Luke 5 and one verse 33. Luke 5 and 33. And they said unto him, why do the disciples of John fast often? Oh, so that somebody knew somebody was fasting, and not just fasting often. And if they were fasting often, that's something that we should be doing too. Fasting often, right? and make prayers, and likewise the disciples of the Pharisees. But here was the problem. But thine eat and drink. But thine eat and drink. Why are they emphasizing the eat and drink? Because you're not supposed to eat and drink when you're fasting. So now, how do you reconcile that with Zechariah 8, which told us that they're feasting on the fast of the first month? You know why? Because each month is a new moon, and each new moon is a feast. So they fasted right before the new moon and then feasted. And that's exactly what we do to this day at our church, Israel, the Church of Jesus. Even if you look at our calendar, let me actually give you an example. Let me show you that I'm not making this stuff up. Let me give you an example. Lord willing, I have my calendar, because I know Brother Jonathan, hopefully he has his. But matter of fact, my calendar's in the truck. I know, my calendar's in the truck. Thank you, Brother Jonathan. Perfect. Praise God. Thank you. And praise the Lord. This is our beautiful calendar if you haven't seen it. And each fast, for example, April 2024. Am I on camera? I'll show the people right here. Right here is cool? Oh, just hit that little button if you don't mind at the top. Yep, that one. That's good. Still blurred. Oh, let me move back some more. Oh, okay. Well, I want to just show that our month, see, this is why it's a feast, like we read in Zechariah. As we fast, can they see this? Okay, don't worry, it's okay. I'm gonna just do it from there. You can zoom back in so they can see how it was. I'm gonna just read it out. Oh, I see what you're talking about too. Okay. Yeah, no problem. I'ma just, yep. So, brothers and sisters, for example, if you look at April 2024 on our calendar, the new moon was Abib 1, which was the new year, right? And that was the new month at the new moon, and that was at sundown on April 9th. So when was our fast? April 8th at sundown. Let's go over to the next month, May. And that was who was featured on April was our Jacksonville, Florida class, and our Durham, North Carolina class. Who was featured on May's edition? The month of May, the Atlanta class. Shout out to the Atlanta class. Okay, and the new moon was on Abib 29, or the end of the month, because God's month's 30 days, right? And or 29.5, however you count it, and from month to month. So when was the monthly fast? It was on Abib 28th. So what day of the week was that? It was on a Tuesday was our monthly fast at sundown, and on Wednesday at sundown it was the new moon. So that's why in Zechariah 8 we read the fast of the 5th month, the fast of the 4th month, the fast of the 7th month, the fast of the 10th month, because, and then it said they feasted. Why were they feasting if they were fasting? They were feasting after the fast because the new moon is a feast. And so that is what you're doing. You're bringing in the new moon with a fast. So you praising the Lord, and it's just like atonement, right? You got atonement, and then you got the Feast of Tabernacles, right? You got atonement and then the feast. So what we're going to do is show you that for what month we're in, June. And this is exactly what I did. I even posted it on Facebook, and I hit up Brother Elijah on the new moon. I said, peace and blessed new moon, bro. Because it is something to acknowledge. It was the 3rd month, and that's what he responded to me. Because Abib is the 1st month, right? That corresponds with March, right? March, April, and then you got the 2nd month, right? Which would be May. So Abib, and then and then you have the 2nd month. Or some people may call Abib 2, so that was May, and then so April, May, and then you had the 3rd month, which is June. And so the new moon came in on the 29th of the 2nd month, and the 3rd month started at sundown. So when was our fast? On the 28th. What day was that? That was Wednesday. What day was the fast for this month was Wednesday, and it would have been June 5th at sundown, and then the following sundown, which would have been Thursday at sundown, was the new moon. And guess what I did? Feasted. And that's why, let's go back and read it in Zechariah 8. And just to let you know, for next month, you want to be prepared for next month? All right, cool, I got you. So next month is going to be the 4th month, right? And guess what? The fast is going to be on July 3rd, which would be the 27th of the 3rd month, right? So that's at sundown. So that's going to be Wednesday, July 3rd, right? At sundown. And the new moon is going to actually be a couple days later. It'll be actually when the sun goes down on the Sabbath. So look at that. When the sun goes down on the Sabbath, and guess what that can be for you? A feast, right? And I'm going to show you that. And shout out to July. Next month is our edition. Is our month. We're featured is the DC class or the DMV class and our Queens neighbors, right? Shout out to Queens and New York. DC and New York got mad history, B. All right, so now let's go back to Zechariah. Or did we read Luke 5? Yes, we read Luke 5. But just in case, let's read Luke 5 since we're here again. And we did read it. It says, and they said unto him, why do the disciples of John fast often and make prayers, and likewise the disciples of the Pharisees, but thine eat and drink? Because we just showed you you're not supposed to eat and drink when you do a true fast. So my question to you is, let's go back in Zechariah 8 and see why then are we talking about fasting but then feasting? Because the new moon, brothers and sisters, they were fasting each month. Zechariah 8, let me show you again. Zechariah 8, and I'm picking it up at verse 18. It says, and the word of the Lord of hosts came unto me, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the fast of the 4th month, and the fast of the 5th month. Right? Got a question? Hey, peace, sis. Hey, peace to you. Nashana, peace to you. Hopefully I said that right. Hopefully I said that right. Or Nashawana. Hopefully I'm saying that right, or we saying that right. Sister Nash, peace to you. And we saw that you were watching. I saw the comments later. And I, just want to extend peace and blessings, love your way in Jesus' mighty name. And glad that you were able to tap in, and hope you got edified by today's earlier lessons. Please feel free, if you have any questions, let us know, but do welcome, and you're very, very much welcome. All right, all praise to the Most High. And so what we're talking about is fasting right now. In our calendar, we've been going over a little bit of these scriptures, and we're showing you that it's good to pray, but it's also good to fast every month. Why do we fast every month? And we have it on our calendar that we fast right before the new moon, because our ancestors did it and it was good unto them. And I'm showing you why does this fast turn into a feast? Because the new moon is a feast, and we're going to show you that. So we're going to read it again. This is why we have a fast each month on our calendar right here, because this is what we do, right? Verse 19, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the fast of the 4th month, the fast of the 4th month, and the fast of the 5th, and the fast of the 7th, and the fast of the 10th month. Why are we talking about fast each month? Because this is what we should be doing. And the fast of the 10th shall be to the house of Judah joy and gladness and cheerful feasts. Therefore love and truth and peace. That even rhyme. That's dope. So my thing is, why are they talking about a feast when the fast is no drinking and no eating that we just read in Esther, in the book of Esther, and we just saw in Luke 5? Why were they feasting if they're supposed to be fasting? I'm showing you because they fasted first and then they feasted for the new moon. And that's exactly what we doing, brothers. We just brought it back. So let me show you that in the book of Samuel. Let's show you that the new moon is a feast. And then we'll go on to any questions that we might have. Actually, we do have a question, because our sister asked a question earlier. Sister Sabrina asked a question about if you are a Jew or a Gentile, if your dad is black and you're mixed and your mom is white. What are you? Are you a Jew or a Gentile? Or if your mom is black and your dad is white. If your dad is white and your mom is black, who are you? Right? Who are you? So we're going to go into that a little bit. Right? What verses? So we started off in Zechariah 7 about the fasting. You can read verses 1 through 5. Then Zechariah 8 verses 18 through 19. Then we looked at the fasting in the book of Esther chapter 4. And that was verse 16. And then we just looked at Luke 5 and 33. Then we went back to Zechariah 8 and we went back to verses 18 and 19. And now we're going to the book of Samuel. Now we're going to the book of Samuel, and we're going to 1 Samuel 20 to show you that the new moon is a feast. 1 Samuel 20. 1 Samuel 20, all praises to the Most High. Shout out to my brother Jonathan, big bro. And let's see. Let's show you that it's a feast, brothers and sisters. So look at this. First chapter 20. First, what did I say? 1 Samuel chapter 20 and verse 17, it says, and Jonathan caused David to swear again, wow, because he loved him, for he loved him as he loved his own soul. How much love do people have? Do people love others like they love themselves today? Nope. The love of many is wax cold, because love is the keeping of the law, and the world is rebellious to God's law. Therefore, we live in a lawless, cold world. The love of many has waxed cold. But David and Jonathan showed you what true brothers, your ace boon coon, your ride or die. This is how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to love that person, that bro or that sis, like your own soul, your own flesh and blood. You don't be harming yourself. You be trying to take care of yourself. You don't even want to be ashy, right? You take care of yourself. Well, that's how you're supposed to love. That's how you're supposed to love your neighbor. All right, it says, and Jonathan caused David to swear again because he loved him, for he loved him as he loved his own soul. Verse 18, then Jonathan said to David, tomorrow is the new moon. And this is the first time you read new moon in the Bible. And this is why they were feasting in Zechariah 8. I'm trying to show you. Look what it says. Tomorrow is the new moon. This is what Jonathan said to David. And tomorrow is the new moon, and thou shalt be missed, because thy seat will be empty. And when thou hast stayed 3 days, then thou shalt go down quickly and come to the place where thou didst hide thyself when the business was in hand, and shalt remain by the stone Ezel. Okay? And now, we at 18, and now I'm skipping down to verse 24. It says, so David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, look at this, when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat. And the king sat upon his seat, as at other times. So, and even upon the seat by the wall, and Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and David's place, was empty. Right? But why did he sit down to eat meat? Right? To have a feast, because they were having a feast, because it's the new moon. That's why in Zechariah 8 it tells you each fast was a feast, because after the fast, new moon, then they feasted. Okay? That's why David was sitting at the king's table to eat. At the table, you're feasting when you breaking bread, okay? So that's that. And let's go over to Colossians 2, and that'll be done. We'll be done with that. We'll show you in the New Testament. We'll show you in the New Testament. Colossians 2. We're going to Colossians 2. And we're picking it up at 16. Colossians 2 and 16. Colossians 2. Shout out to Sister Elizabeth and Brother JD. But God eats potato chips. That's how you can remember. It goes Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, and Colossians. And we go into Colossians 2 and 16. Colossians 2 and verse 16. What does it say? So this is the New Testament. This is after Jesus, right? This is after Jesus. This is the New Testament. This is the days of Paul. Paul thanked God for their faith. He thanked the Colossians. Okay. And Timotheus, our brother. Right? And if you read verse 16 in chapter 2, that was chapter 1, what I was just reading. But if you go to chapter 2 and you read verse 16, what does it say? It says, let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of a holy day or of the new moon or of the Sabbath days. So the new moon should still be observed. And I bid you all to be fasting every month with the church. But it's optional, so don't feel bad if you don't or if you can't or if you don't. It's okay. But I bid you because we need it. and then you can partake in a feast right after. I mean, the Lord is great. He's like, bro, you can feast once a month. Turn up.
So if you don't fast, you can't feast?
Nah, nobody said that. Because again, the fast is optional, right? Now, when it comes to atonement and tabernacles, that's a different story. Because if you wasn't with the church at the fast, what you doing just popping up at the feast? You see what I'm saying? Because this is part of the God's order, right? And we don't knock nobody doing it to their understanding or with different calendar from us. We don't knock that, because people doing the best that they can with what they understand, just like we trying to do our best. You know, so as long as you striving, the Lord will correct the rest. But we do say, you know, hear us out with what we talking about, because we believe that, you know, the Lord is guiding us, right? So now, but it's no shade or anything like that to any brothers or sisters that may be doing it a little different at a little different time. I'm happy that we all striving. All right. So now, boom. So yeah. So I showed you that. So now for our second question, it's funny. We just mentioned Timotheus. Well, let's show you his identity. Okay, because this is going to go into Sister Sabrina's question. Sister Sabrina's question was, if you are a mixed baby, right? If you a mixed baby, if you a mulatto, right? Mixed feelings like a mulatto, but nah, that's a bar from a rapper. But mulatto, right? You kind of look like President Obama's complexion or Mariah Carey's complexion, but you got different colored parents. What are you? If your dad is white and your mom is black, what are you? If your dad is black and your mom is white, what are you? Well, the simple answer to her question is, you are what your father is. You are what your father is. That's why when a woman takes, when a man takes a wife to be his wife, she then, by nature, takes his last name, and then the children have the last name of the man because they are the product of their father. The man carries the seed, and the seed determines what the fruit is. Right? So you can't have an apple tree with apples without an apple seed. And the man carries the seed. You see? So you are what your father is. That's the long and short of it. So, but now, let's look and show you that according to the Bible. Now, we talked about Timotheus in Colossians chapter 1 because Paul thanked the Colossians, and he thanked Timothy, his brother, right? He was his brother in spirit, though, because they were two different bloodlines. Let's show you that. We're going to the book of Acts, around chapter 15. And let's show you that you got two different people. Excuse me. We're going to start show you that Timothy was a European, right? So even if you look up, if you Google Timothy, right? Timothy in the Bible, right? What does it say about Timothy or Saint Timothy in the Bible? This is, let's see if I can find. See, okay, it don't say it how I was thinking, but Let's see if we look at an encyclopedia, if it comes up. Just bear with me. It's a method to my madness. Just bear with me. Okay, Encyclopedia Britannica, Saint Timothy. Let's see if it says what I'm looking for. Okay, so it says Saint Timothy was a disciple of Saint Paul the Apostle, whom he accompanied on his missions. He is traditionally known as a martyr and the first bishop of Ephesus. Okay. Now, it says on his second visit to Lystra in the year 50, Paul discovered Timothy, taking him as a colleague, but first circumcising him out of respect for his Jewish mother and the custom of the Jews in whose communities they were to do mission work. So that was his mother, but who was Paul and who was Timothy? Paul was an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. Timothy's father was not a Jew. Timothy's father was a Greek, and we're going to read that. And who was Paul? Paul was the apostle to the Gentiles. Who are the Greek people? The Greek people are Gentiles. We even showed you that in Joel 3. And therefore, Gentiles, if you don't know, that's code for European. So Timothy was a European. He was a Greek. And we're going to show you that right here in this very same place that we just read about in history from the Encyclopedia Britannica. We're going to read you the proof in the scriptures. So let's go straight to it. Actually, I was going to pick it up in Acts 14, but let's go straight to it. We're going to Acts chapter 16. Acts chapter 16. So we're going to pick it up right in verse 1. Acts chapter 16. Then came he to Derbe. Well, funny enough, we're going to Derbe tomorrow for Pentecost. And Lystra. And behold, a certain disciple was there named Timotheus. There you go again. Timothy. And look at it, says, the son of a certain woman, which was a Jewess, that means a woman, right? And believed, but his father was a Greek. So if his father was a Greek, that makes him a Greek because you are who your father is. Just like the 12 tribes of Israel came from who? Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. And what did those sons of Israel become? The 12 tribes of Israel, because you are what your father is. So if you're a Greek, you're the son of a Greek, you're a Greek. Okay? If you're the son of a Negro Israelite, it doesn't matter what your mother is. If you're a son of a Greek, it doesn't matter if your mom's a Jew. You're not a Jew. You can still do as the Jews do, but you're a Greek by nationality. Your nation is Greek. If your father is Egyptian, you are an Egyptian. If your father is an Arab, you are an Arab. If your father is a Chinaman, you're the Chinaman. You're the son of a Chinaman, you're a Chinaman. Okay? So it says, then came he to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there named Timothy, or Timotheus, the son of a certain woman, which was a Jewess, and believed, but his father was a Greek. Verse 2. Which was well reported of by the brethren that were at Lystra and Iconium. Him would Paul have to go forth with him, and took and circumcised him because of the Jews which were in those quarters, for they knew all that his father was a Greek. So Timothy was a Greek. Okay? Timothy was a Greek. but you are what your father is. Okay? So that's just showing you that. Excuse me, you are what your father is. Let's prove it some more. Sure. Let's go to the book of Numbers. Numbers. Yeah, you definitely see a lot of that going on in Numbers, and because you had a lot of consensus taking place in Numbers. And that's why it's actually called Numbers, because our progeny and our groups and tribes were numbered. All right, so did you have a specific place in Numbers, bro, or just you were just thinking about the different tribes and the
Numbers 1, verses 1 through 3, possibly 4, and then Numbers 18.
Okay, great.
Numbers 1 verse 18.
Okay, great. Thank you. Let's take a look. Praise the Lord. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses. This is Numbers 1, like Larry June, Numbers. Numbers. Right? It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai. See, you can't get around that Moses in the wilderness, can you? In the tabernacle of the congregation on the first day of the second month. Look at that, the first day of the second month. Look at that. In the second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, excuse me, take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, even every male by their polls. Exactly. This is a poll, a census, right? That's why the Census Bureau has us do census. It's nothing new, right? But it says, think about what it says. Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers, because the father is the head of the family, and the family is a result of the father, as in the children come out of the father, and they are what that father is, right? Verse 3, from 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel. So today it's 18 in this country, but back then in Israel it was 20. Thou and Aaron shall number them by their armies. And with you there shall be a man of every tribe, every one head of the house of his fathers. Because the father is not just the head, but the father has the seed, and therefore the child is what the father is. So let's actually continue reading. And these are the names of the men that shall stand with you. Look at it. Of the tribe of Reuben, Eliezer, the son of Shadur. So what does this mean? That means that they're Reubenites, right? Their father was Reuben, and they came out of Reuben. This was a perfect place, bro. They came out of Reuben. So let's go to another tribe, or Simeon, of Simeon. Shelumiel, the son of Zuri Shaddai, right? So you got Simeon, and then you got obviously his son Zuri Shaddai, and then his son Shelumiel, right? But guess what they all are? Simeonites. because they come out of Simeon. Of Judah, you got Nashon. Look at that. That's Brother JD's son's name. Shout out to Nashon. He just graduated. Shout out to all the graduates 2024. No matter where you graduating. Shout out to our school, Israel School of Excellence, and all their graduates. Man, the graduation was lit, bro. We got a legitimate private school, y'all, and we are educating children and souls, young adults from K to 12 in the name of the Lord, man. We doing big, blessed things. And again, I told y'all earlier in the lesson, but I'm going to say it one more time if you missed it. Our school, let me read the actual public service announcement. I want anybody, you know, this might help somebody. This might help somebody. Just in case you didn't know, our school's doing big things and great things in the name of the Lord. And I just want people to catch these blessings. All right? So attention, all Gary residents. Our school, Israel School of Excellence and Children of Israel Daycare, is giving out free food all summer. Free breakfast and lunch for any school age Gary residents from the age of 5 to 18 years of age. We are giving out free breakfast and free lunch all summer. All meals will be served at our campus, 7201 West 25th Avenue, Gary, Indiana, 46406, Monday through Friday. Breakfast 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and lunch 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Free food. You don't have to be a member of our school. You just have to be a resident in Gary, Indiana. So shout out to our graduates, but also shout out to our school. All right? We doing big things for the nation and for the whole world. Right? Because God done called us to do this. Okay? So, but we showing you that you are what your son is. Right? Like my son Zion, he is what I am. So let's say I'm from the tribe of Judah. Then guess what my son would be? The tribe of Judah. We showing you right here, verse 7. It says, of Judah, Nashon, the son of Amminadab. So who is Amminadab? A Jew, a Judite. And who was his father? The same thing. Nashon, the same thing. Judah, the same thing. Of Issachar, Nathaniel, the son of Zuar. Who is Nathaniel and who is Zuar? They're both Issacharites. That's how it goes, brothers and sisters. And Brother Jonathan said, verse 18. Let's go to verse 18. And
16 through 18. Yeah.
Let's go to 16. It says, these were renowned of the congregation, princes of the tribes of their fathers. Princes of the tribes of their fathers. Heads of thousands in Israel. Why of their fathers? Because you are what your father is, and you are the tribe that your father is. So if you are from the tribe of Judah, your son is from the tribe of Judah. His son is from the tribe of Judah. His son is from the tribe of Judah. His son is from the tribe of Judah. It don't matter who he married. His son is from the tribe of Judah.
What if his mother's white?
We just showed you that with Timothy. Timothy is a Greek. You could say, what if his mother was a Jew? It don't matter if his mother was a Jew, because you are what your father is. And we just did the reverse with Timothy, right? He was a Greek. Well, what if his mother, people could have asked that. Well, what if his mother's a Jew? That would have been a more prominent question, right? Because today it's all about the maternal lineage, right? But not just that, because, hey, if his mother a Jew, he close to us, right? Well, Paul did call Timothy his brother in Colossians 1. Right? Yeah, he did. But were they blood brothers? No, they were brothers in spirit. So what about his mother's a Jew? It don't matter. He's still what his father is, which was a Greek. But does that show you that who your mother is does matter? Yes, it does, because it even showed you that because his mother was a Jew, they circumcised him. So who your mother does matter, right? So now, but what matters when it comes to nationality? Your seed. And it don't matter what you look like either. You could look like a Gentile and be a Israelite, and you could look like an Israelite and be a Gentile. You know what's a good example of that? Bob Marley. And Bob Marley talked about Zion and redemption for Israel, but he's a European. Ain't that something? He the one talking about redemption song. So that show you, see, when you get deep into like race relations and sociology, you also learn that black can be a state of consciousness. Now, it's not just so, because you can have people that's Gentile and be more black than a brother. A brother could be brainwashed. A brother could have a mind of a colonizer. You know what we call them? Negropeans. Right. And it's not just about how you talk, it's about how you think. Right? That's why we call them Negropeans. Not Europeans, Negropeans. Huh? Clayton Bisbee. No, it's a perfect example. The black white supremacists. Hey yo, hey, go ahead, bro. Don't get it started, bro. Man, bro. They said he divorced his wife because she was a nigger lover. And he was blind. Hey, bro, you gonna make me start sounding like the little Muppets, the little three little Muppet characters. That's how they be laughing, bro. Oh my goodness, them three black Muppets off the chain, bruh. You know what I'm talking about, right? Oh man. But anyway, so yeah, man. So anyway, how do we get to Clayton Bigsby, bro? How did we even get there? So, because black can be a state of consciousness, brothers and sisters. And so that is what Bob Marley was. He was consciously political. You can be politically black. You can fight for black causes. You could be a Gentile and really stand behind the ethos of Black Lives Matter by looking at it for what it is. And that's what, Bob Marley did. He fought the fight, but he was a Gentile. Now, it don't matter which, I know he looked like us, but your color don't matter, brothers and sisters. You know why? You know how I can show you color don't matter? Because we, a people that's reddish, people named Esau, Edom, reddish, they look like they white. They are closer to us genetically than Africans. And Africans look just like us in color. That's why color don't matter. Right. Think about that one. Why do you think that Jews and Negroes, the fake Jews and the Negroes, are the main and only people with sickle cell? And the bushy hair. Exactly. And the same type of beards. Why is that? But let's talk about that sickle cell. That's genetics. That's DNA. It's because we brothers. We brothers and sisters. So but you are, at the end of the day, the point and the conclusion of the matter is that you are what your father is. Okay? That's why it says, these were the renown of the congregation, princes of the tribes of their fathers, heads of thousands of Israel, verse 17. And Moses and Aaron took these men which are expressed by their names, verse 18, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families, by the house of their fathers, because you are what your father is, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, by their polls. That is a census once again. Okay? So praise God for that addition, Brother Jonathan. And another thing, Let's go to Genesis. Let's go to the book of Genesis. I'm gonna let the Spirit do what it do. Genesis 18. That's what I'm hearing. Genesis 18. And this is the duty of fathers while we're at it. Verse 17. Excuse me. It says Genesis 18 and verse 17. And again, peace to anybody that might be tapped in. I forgot to share the Q&A to my page. My bad, y'all. I forgot to share the Q&A. Peace to Sister Bree. Peace to Sister Bree. Peace, my sis. Happy Sabbath, fam. And let me just share this to my page. Tap in and ask your questions. Peace in Jesus' name. Okay, boom, 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 and boom. All right. I need to do one more thing too. Oh, and we finally got up to 900 followers on Facebook. So shout out to the 900 people following. We'll be up at 1,000 soon. And I think that's pretty cool. So we growing, y'all. We growing. But shout out to our people. Just in case you didn't know, what does DMV stand for? DMV stands for the DC metro area of DC, Maryland, and Virginia. That's why we are Israel Church of Jesus, DMV. But we base, I'm DC, I'm from DC, I'm from Israel, but, DC. I was born in DC. So I'm a chocolate city baby, right? And, we're right on the line. We're right on the state line between Maryland and DC. So we Israel Church of Jesus, DC, but actually it's bigger than DC. It's the DMV. That's the DC metro area, all right? For anybody who may be wondering. But yeah, I got to do one thing and then we'll be back on track. We're going to read Genesis, brothers and sisters. Genesis. And peace. Shout out to our Atlanta class, all our Atlanta family. Shout out to our North Carolina class, my brother Dave, everybody out there, brother Josh, sister Crystal, sister Chrissy. Shout out to my sisters, man. Shout out to our new sister who has a huge testimony, Israel Church of North Carolina. Y'all bussin'. Just like Dallas. Dallas is really bussin'. Dallas is lit. Oh my gosh, our Dallas class is crazy lit right now. But shout out to our new sister in the Dallas class who was openly gay. But for Pride Month, she showed her transformation by coming to class, and now she's, she is into her feminine self of what God called her to be. So she put that testimony out there. ICOJ, North Carolina. Shout out to Chrissy and Crystal as well. But let me do a little editing on our Sabbath Q&A real quick, and I'll be done with that. Yep, that was done quick. Jesus, mighty name. Sister Sarita. Shout out to Sister Sarita. All right. But now, brothers and sisters, what we going to do is continue. All right. And again, if you missed our lesson earlier, Jesus the God King of the Hebrew Negro slaves, go check it out. But we're answering a question from Sister Sabrina, and the question is, if you're a mixed child, which parent do you take after? Are you white or are you black? Or are you Asian, or what are you? If you mix with an Asian parent, if you're mixed with a Caucasian parent, if you mix with, see, that's funny how we showed you that the Gentiles are the Asians and the Europeans. Well, think about the word Asian and then Caucasian. Same people, same stock. All right, because you are what your father is. Japheth and his lineage. I'm gonna show you that. We're gonna go to the table of nations, and we're gonna show you that after this. Japheth. Yep. Yes, sir. We're gonna show you that, the table of nations, after this, though, after these messages. So Genesis 18 and verse 17, it says, "And the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation?" How do you become a great and mighty nation? By having seed. You are what your father is. How do you become a nation? When your children have children and their children have children and they break up into tribes, then you have a nation. That's why it goes Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Jacob changed to Israel. And then from them 12 tribes, well, they all go back to Abraham.
One man.
One man. So that's the progenitor. That's the patriarch. And that is where the seed is derived from, the man. That's how you create nations. That's why the Lord was going to even wipe out the nation of Israel and start with Moses all over again. All you need is a man and of that particular stock, and it don't matter where he take the women from.
One rooster and 2 men.
Yeah. So verse 18 says, "Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him." Look at that. "For I know him that he will command his children." And that's what all good fathers are going to do. "And his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, and the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken to him." And then so it went to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, and Jacob was changed to Israel, and then Israel had the 12 tribes, and they became the 12 tribes of Israel, because you are what your father is. Now, before we go to Genesis 10, let's actually show you the birth of the nation of Israel. While we in Genesis, we might as well look at it. Genesis 29, and this is the start. Who knows who was the firstborn out of the 12 tribes? Do we know who the firstborn was out of the 12 tribes? Anybody want to guess who the firstborn was?
You said 12 tribes?
Yep. Got any takers? Who?
Oh, you want them to guess?
I'm asking anybody.
Let them guess. Well, never mind, you can't even see it.
I can see on YouTube.
You can? Alright, let them guess.
No, but it's if we know. I'm asking if we know it up in here, we can say it.
I'm pretty sure we all do.
Okay. Well, somebody might not, but we're gonna read it. But it's Reuben. So and we ain't talking about the sandwich either. Well, where they get that name from that sandwich from?
was gonna say sandwich.
Hey man, Reuben.
It's like
If I'm not mistaken, that Reuben is pretty good if it's clean.
yes, sir.
And I think they put Swiss cheese on it, on a Reuben, if I'm not mistaken. And I think they got don't tell me, I want to guess. I think it's like, it's beef on there, but I'm trying to think the type of beef. It's a type of beef. I don't know if it's some people. I don't know if they do corned beef.
Yeah.
Okay, corned beef on the roof, and then there's something else. I think it's sauerkraut. Yeah, I think that's your Reuben sandwich.
And some sauce.
Yeah, and some sauce. What kind of sauce on your Reuben?
I don't know, sauce like some orange sauce, I think.
For real?
Then it was something, yeah.
Oh man, we need to get some Reubens.
We do.
We need to get some Reubens. I wanted to do the spot over here got Reubens. We might have to get some Reubens one night, man. Or maybe the new moon come in, we feast. You dig? So yeah, man. When the Lord gonna bless us, y'all. And when I'm telling y'all, we gonna live it up one day. When the Lord, you know, it don't have to be, we just know even if it's not, and even if we don't see big blessings, like before the Lord comes back, at least know when He is back, it's on and popping. As long as we serve Him, and that should keep you motivated. I mean, the thing is, it's so mind blowing that our goal is to make the first resurrection. You're not even thinking like a man no more.
Right.
You God with all power. You can have angels make up anything. You could probably make food appear in your hand. You know what you think about when you think God? When you think God, bro, sis, you know what I want you to think of? Genie from Aladdin. Think about how he could pretty much do anything. That's like being God. You can do anything you wish. Obviously that God gives you control over and power over, but you're going to be like Him.
You want to be magic carpet?
And you'll be able to fly on the cloud. If you want a magic carpet, you can go on a magic carpet ride. Why not? You God. If Jesus can fly on the cloud, you can fly on the carpet. Or maybe you can have a carpet cloud. A cloud carpet. There you go. Right there. So just imagine that. We talking about Reuben sandwiches and steaks. I mean, hey, imagine you can have the best clean stuff ever. Right. Cause you don't get tired. You don't get you gonna be God and with no itis. Cause you don't need sleep. You don't need sleep. That's what it says about God in Isaiah. He's neither weary nor does He rest. He rested on the seventh day to show us what we needed to do, brothers and sisters. For our benefit. Thank you. So, let us look at the beginning of the nations, the 12 tribes of Israel. So this is Genesis 29 and 31. And 30 and 29. Genesis 29 and 29. And Laban gave to Rachel or Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. So the nation of Israel started with one man and 4 women. And he went in also unto Rachel. Who is he? Jacob. And he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. However, 31, and when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, right, He opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. Look at that. So she was despised or less loved. When it says hated, it's not like He was trying to kill her. You know, she was just not as favored as Rachel. So when it says that Leah was hated, He opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. Look at that. God controls everything, even the womb, even birth. So who are you to abort a child when God is the one that controls the womb?
Right, exactly.
Or who are you to try to destroy a child when God is the one that, when those kids belong to a child? I mean, belong to God, to the Lord. Whoa, better be careful. Better be careful. Especially when you're dealing with God's anointed. You do not know what you're up against. Anyway, 31, it says, and when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. So God is watching everything. At 32, and Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, surely the Lord have looked upon my affliction. Now, therefore, my husband will love me. Wow. And she conceived again and bare a son. And mind you, who's naming these kids? The women. And they're giving them names according to the circumstance. And these names coming from the Lord. So if you look up Reuben, it actually means, let me show you when you look up the word Reuben, what it means. Because I told you the Bible is like a dictionary. It explains every word. But just in case you just missed it, we're going to show you what the name Reuben means. The name Reuben means behold a son. And that's what the name literally means. It means behold a son. Right? Now, when she named Reuben, look what she said. And Leah conceived, bare a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now, therefore, my husband will love me. Right? And let's keep showing you how these names work. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because the Lord hath heard that I was hated, he had therefore given me this son also, and she called his name Simeon. So let's look up what the word Simeon means. Because Reuben was the first son. They saw him, behold a son. Well, that's his name, Reuben. Behold a son. Right? That's what that name means. Now, we done seen what it says about Simeon. It said, because the Lord hath heard that I was hated, he had therefore given me this son also, and she called his name Simeon. So the woman does have some say so in these things, right? No problem. But guess what the word Simeon means? Heard. And that was strictly between God and the woman. Yep, God and the woman, Leah, right? So there we go. He opened her womb, and Rachel was barren, brothers and sisters. So, but who are the Reubenites, the Simeonites, the Levites? Who are they? They are all Israelites. They make up the 12 tribes. Let's show you that in Genesis 50 or 49, when we lay out these blessings and such. Yep, check this out. This is going to show you even some more. You are what your father is, brothers and sisters. And Jacob called unto his sons. This is Genesis 49 and verse 1. Genesis 49 and verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Whoa, more prophecy. So this is Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, right? He says, verse 2, gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn. Oh, there it tell you right there. My might and the beginning of my strength. That, yes, sir. And the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. But just because you are that don't mean you got all your screws in. Because what did it say about Reuben in verse 4? unstable as water. Thou shalt not excel. Dang. Because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defiled thou it. He went up to my couch. He slept with his father's wife, or one of them, concubine, one of his wives. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. O my soul, come not thou into their secret unto their assembly. My honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. So they show you, just because we God's chosen, that don't mean we don't have problems. We got a lot of problems. Even today, I'm not surprised that the nation of Israel got problems. We started off with problems, right? But now we need to use the word to solve them, okay? So it goes on from Reuben to Simeon to Levi to Judah, and then it says, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Because you know the Lord coming out of Judah, right? He sprang out of Judah, right? Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Whoa. Judah is a lion's whelp. Why do you think we got the lions, guys? Why do you think we got the lions? You think this is us or the Lord? Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Shout out to Brother Obadiah, man. His soul rest in peace. He used to call me Young Lion. I called him Big Lion. And that's what this just reminded me of. He said, as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come. Who that? The Messiah. Shiloh, the peace. You know what Shiloh means? The peaceful one, the Prince of Peace. Unto him shall the gathering of the people be, binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass colt unto the choice vine. Didn't the Lord come on that ass? And his first coming, he coming back on a horse. On his second coming, a white horse. Boy, it's that white horsepower. But you know about it, right? He came through humble the first time like a lamb. He coming back as a lion. Who shall rouse him up? Right? And then it says his eyes shall be red with wine. Well, didn't we see that when we looked at Revelation in the lesson? Now we know why his eyes red with wine, with his eyes red with fury. This is just a description, right? More symbolic than anything. I wouldn't be surprised if the eyes are really red, like Cyclops. Gonna be probably killing people with his eyes, right? Lasers coming out, right? Maybe that's the red. But why though? Because he's coming back to judge and make war. That's why. And that's also why he's going to stain his garment. So let's finish that out, by the way. Verse 11 and 12. Binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's coat unto the choice vine. That's how he came the first time. He washed his garments in wine. That's why it tells you that in Revelation, that his garment's going to be red with blood. And his clothes in the blood of grapes. This blood of grapes is really the blood of men. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. That's his righteousness, right? Zebulun. Now, here's another tribe. So now we got Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Zebulun. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Zebulun, that's 5. Issachar, that's 6. Dan, that's 7. Gad, that's 8. Asher, that's 9. Naphtali, that's 10. Joseph, that's 11. Right? And that is, you got, out of Joseph, you had Joseph and Manasseh, right? Ephraim and Manasseh. And then your last one, Benjamin. But you got your 2 that was broken up into, you got 1 tribe, Joseph, that was broken up into Ephraim and Manasseh. Okay? And I'm trying to think, where's Benjamin? Is Benjamin verse who?
27.
Oh, I missed it. There you go, Benjamin. There we go. Thank you. 12, Benjamin. And so we was at 11 at Joseph, and then Benjamin made it 12. Thank you, Brother Jonathan. So that's 12. But who are all these 12 tribes? They're Israelites. Who did they come from? Jacob. Who is Jacob changed to? Israel. So that's how you are what your father is. And let's finish this off in Genesis 10, which is called the Table of Nations chapter. Genesis 10, the Table of Nations chapter. And we'll be done. And if we don't have anything online, we can close out a little early. I like actually going to 9, but we can finish out a little early today. Genesis 10. I like going to 9 because then once we done, we done. Sabbath over, all that. Genesis 10. But it's about to be over anyway. Genesis 10. Excuse me. Making sure we still sound good.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you, Brother John. He already on it. Thank you. And, all right. Genesis 10. All right. Now, verse 1. Now, these are the generations of the sons of Noah. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Right? So out of the sons of Noah, you have these different nations. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. Now, the sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog, and Madai and Javan, and Tubal and Meshach and Tyrus. Who are all of these? We're going to show you. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan, Elishai, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, everyone after his tongue, after their families in their nation. And it all started with who though? Japheth. Their family and their nation. They're all one nation. They all fall under Japheth, or what we know as Gentiles, or what we know as European. Now, how do we fact check this? A easy search. For example, when you look up who are the people of Javan today, who are they? Well, that's what we have Google for. You have an encyclopedia at your fingertips. Let's Google Javan in the Bible. Javan in the Bible. A quick on Wikipedia pops up this quick. Look. Javan is also found in apocalyptic literature in the book of Daniel 8 through 21 to 22 and 11 and 2 in reference to the king of Greece. Oh, so who are the people of Javan, brothers and sisters? Well, we're going to see. Most commonly interpreted as a reference to Alexander the Great, while Javan is generally associated with the ancient Greeks and Greece. So, who are the Greeks? Wait a minute, didn't we start off showing you Timothy was a Greek? So he comes under Javan, which comes under Japheth, which are the Gentiles or the Europeans. Told you, you are what your father is. So let's look at Javan from another source. Let's go to an encyclopedia. Bible Hub says, from the Topical Bible, a son of Japheth. This is about Javan. Javan was regarded as the representative of the Greek race. That's another source. Now let's go to an encyclopedia. Javan Bible Encyclopedia. You see how easy this is? Encyclopedia. Javan. Encyclopedia.com. Encyclopedia.com. Javan, fourth of the 7 sons of Japheth, son of Noah, and father of Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. The name Javan reflects the Greek heroic name Ion, and legendary ancestor of the Ionians, a section of the Greek people. So Javan today are the Greeks, but who are they overall? Gentiles. The same goes for the children of Ham. So let's look at the children of Ham. Verse 6, and the sons of Ham, Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Sabta, and Raama, and Sabtacha. That looks like a click in there. And the sons of Rahama, Sheba, Dedan, and Cush begat Nimrod. So Nimrod was, who is Cush, by the way? Well, let's look it up. Cush, we know who it is, but let's look it up. Just like we looked up Javan, let's give you an example of the Hamites and show you what stock they belong to coming from their father, right? First, Ham is the, look up Ham. That is the progenitor of the dark races, the African races, right? So now, which part of Africa do the Cushites, did they make up? And who are they today? Well, let's look it up. Cush, Bible, meaning. Cush, Bible. Again, we're using the internet. We're using our sources, right? First, let's go to Wikipedia. All right, Cush or Cush. Look at that, Ge'ez. That, you know who speaks Ge'ez? That's the oldest language of which group of people? We'll let it tell you later. According to the Hebrew Bible, was the oldest son of Ham and a grandson of Noah, right? He was the brother of Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. Cush was the father of Nimrod. This is Wikipedia. Where did they get it from? The Bible. But now they're going to go to history. Cush is traditionally considered the ancestor of the land of Cush. Wait, there's a land of Cush? Of course. An ancient territory believed to have been located near the Red Sea. Cush is identified in the Bible with the kingdom of Cush, or ancient Ethiopia. The Cushitic languages are named after Cush. And go to any taxi driver that's Ethiopian, because you can't spot them, you can't miss them with their big heads, and look at, that's not an insult, that's just a description, because their heads are like that. And you know, I got a small head, they got big heads. That's just how that happened. So now speak to any of them and tell them Cush and watch their eyes light up. Say, you're Cush. Watch their eyes light up. It happens every time, because that's who they are. Let's go to another source to confirm this. Cush Bible Encyclopedia. Let's see what comes up when we type encyclopedia. Biblical Encyclopedia. Let's see what comes up. Oh wow, Cush. This is from the. Have y'all ever heard of this? McClintock and Strong. Oh, and Strong's Biblical Encyclopedia. Cool. Like just like we have the Strong's Concordance, we got an encyclopedia. Cush. Derivative uncertain for them. They say Cush. Psalm 7, title Isaiah 11:11, Ethiopia, Zephaniah 3:10, Ethiopians. It says A, son of Ham. B, circa 2510, in the genealogy of Noah's children, Cush seems to be the individual, for it is said Cush begat Nimrod. Right? Land of Cush in this encyclopedia. This is the Bible coordinates for Cush. From the eldest son of Ham, seems to have been derived from the name of the land of Cush, which is commonly rendered by the Sept and by the Vulgate Ethiopia or Ethiopia. Brothers and sisters, look at this. in which they have been followed by almost all other versions, ancient and modern. The German translation of Luther has modern land, which is equivalent to Negro land or the country of the blacks. A native was called Cush. Well, what kind of black people are they? They're Hamitic black people, and they are what their father is, because if you look up the dictionary entry for Ham, it's going to tell you he's the progenitor of the dark races. Right? So we know that they're not Negro per se. They are black though. Ethiop just means burnt skin. And that's where you get the word Ethiopia from. Right? That's where you get the word Ethiopia from. It was originally from the Greeks. The Greeks, that's a Greek word, Ethiopia, A-E-T-H-I-O-P-I-A. But in English it's known as Ethiopia. Okay? So that is who Cush is. And then you have Shem. Last but not least, you have Shem, the children of Shem, Elam and Ashur and Arphaxad and Lud and Adam. And you got children from them. And Arphaxad begat Salah, and Salah begot Eber. And unto Eber were born two sons. And we trace our line through Eber, brothers and sisters, all the way down to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. That's where the Hebrews come from, right? So that was an example of us being who our father is, going back to our father, the man carrying the seed. Okay? So if there isn't anything, let me check WhatsApp. Let me check. You can let us know if there's anything online, on Facebook, I mean, because I see YouTube. Okay, good. We're about to close out then. Well, I don't see anything. Don't see any questions. We're all good here. Praise the Lord. Let me check my text, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, we are good to go on all fronts, brothers and sisters. So with that being said, we hope you got some understanding. Thank you for your question, Sister Sabrina. That helped us with Q&A, and I hope somebody got edified in this Q&A session. At sundown, for us, it is the Feast of Pentecost. Hey, Cole is clutch. Peace, fam. All praise to the Most High. Catch us next week, man. We about to turn up righteously for Pentecost, baby. Right? And you can turn up without even drinking. Turning up just means you about to just be lit, and you can be lit just in your spirit, brothers and sisters. The Lord can have you lit, right? So all praise to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We about to be lit for the Lord in all righteousness for the Feast of Pentecost at sundown. All right, so it's about that time, and that's why we bid you to go check out the lesson. This was a pre-Pentecost lesson, Jesus, the God King of the Hebrew Negro slaves, because Pentecost points to our liberty, our jubilee, our freedom, brothers and sisters, and even our eternal life. All right, so peace to everybody that's watching. Peace to everybody that's tuned in. Man, safe travels to everybody that's, and happy Pentecost at sundown to everybody that's keeping Pentecost and, at this time. And also, safe travels to everybody that's traveling to and fro. All right? So with that being said, we hope you got some understanding. In Jesus' name, peace to our brothers and sisters all over the world. And we're going to stand up. We're going to close out. And we are going to say the Lord's Prayer once again.
Clutch has to do with the question.
Oh, we doing the oh man, we out, man. We let's see what it say though. You check I didn't see, I just saw the piece, brother. I didn't even see the question. Okay, let's get that real quick. I didn't even realize he asked the question before he said peace, bro. I didn't even see that. Sorry. Thank you, Brother Jonathan. Is Leviticus 14 30? You know you caught us right at the end, right? It's okay though. Is Leviticus 14 33 37 to mold in homes? Yes. I believe I know what you're talking about, and I believe the answer is yes, but we're gonna look at it real quick. Nah. You good, bro? You good, Brody? You good, Brody? I'm messing. We love questions. We was about to get out of here though. It's my bad for not seeing it. Yeah, mold. Yep. I think you right, bruh. I think you right. And my fault for not seeing. I saw the piece, brother. I didn't see the question before that, so that's my fault. All right. So you good for sure. You know that's what Q&A is for. It's 4 questions. So Leviticus 14 and 33. Leviticus 14 and 33. I think you're absolutely right, because I think it's talking about the leprosy in the house or something like that. Let's take a look at it. Leviticus 14 and 33. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, when ye come into the land of Canaan, which I give to you for possession, and I put the plague of leprosy in a house, of the land of your possession, and he that owneth the house shall come and tell the priest, saying, it seemeth to me there is as it were a plague in the house. This is talking about mold, if I'm not mistaken. Then the priest shall command that they empty the house before the priest go into it and see the plague, that all that is in the house be not made unclean, and afterward the priest shall go in to see the house. And 37 says, and he shall look on the plague, and behold, if the plague be in the walls of the house with hollow strakes, greenish and reddish, which is in sight are lower than the wall, then the priest shall go out of the house to the door of the house and shut up the house 7 days. And the priest shall come again the 7th day and shall look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the walls of the house, then the priest shall command that they take away the stones in which the plague is, and they shall cast them into an unclean place without the city. That means beyond the city. And he shall cause the house to be scraped within round about, and they shall pour out the dust that they scrape off without the city in an unclean place. And it's just like if you have mold, that's exactly what you know you do. You scrape it off to this day, right? So yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly what it's referring to, bro. And just know, when you have the leprosy, you got a few different types of leprosy in the Bible. You got the leprosy of a house. Then you can have leprosy in your flesh. Right? When your flesh can turn white, it can, and that's the full blown, it'll turn white, and sometimes you get red spots and stuff like that. And then you can have leprosy in your hair. Right? So some people look at albinism and they compare that to that, which is very, very much plausible. Okay, but yes, let me go into Strong's and actually look at the word in the context about the plague, right? And let's look at that. Let's look at that a little bit. And matter of fact, we might be able to look at another place. Before we look at that, let me confirm this though. Let me go to Deuteronomy and confirm if we can look at this somewhere else as well. Deuteronomy, let me just confirm first. Okay. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. But what we do want to do is, what we do want to do is look up, the meaning or the word, the definition in Strong's, just to see what it comes up with. But I'm sorry, before I do that, don't worry, it's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, no worries. So we want Leviticus. Oh yeah, different types of leprosy. Nice. And I just want to do one thing before we leave out. I want to go to Leviticus on my phone so I can look up the word in Strong's and see what they got. I just want to see I'm just interested to see if it'll help us out a little bit more. So we got the plague in verse 34. Let's see what that word was that they used there. Plague in verse 34. They used it as a wound. So they use it as the same as you see it everywhere else. Stroke, wound, stroke, plague, sore, stroke. Yeah, okay. So sore. So yeah, so it's a sore in the house when the house has mold and mildew and stuff like that. And let's look at this other word. So we've seen plague. Let's look at the word leprosy in verse 34 and see if that's the same as we read leprosy everywhere else, or if it's different. Leprosy from Strong's in this context. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect, fam. Look at this. We got it. We got the bullseye right here. So look at the definition. There's 3 different types. Didn't we just say there's 3 different types? Didn't we just talk about different types? Right? So this is beautiful. This is perfect. This is perfect. And we got the verses. Right? So look, so A, the different types of leprosy. Perfect. I'm glad we did this. That's the spirit. In people, malignant skin disease. Leviticus 13 through 14. Right? In clothing, a mildew or mold. That's in Leviticus 13 verses 47 through 52. Right? And I'm sure you already, if you've been studying this, you already looking at it. But guess what the last one says? C is in buildings of mildew or mold. Leviticus 14, 35 through 53. So if we kept reading, why don't we keep reading too? And then we'll be done with this, all right? So let's look at the whole thing, y'all. Wait a minute. I think we just need to read to 45 because they're starting to talk about clothes. No, they still talking about the house. No, we're going to read this. We're going to read this, bruh. Hey, look, we read 37. We about to keep going. And then we're going to be done. We're going to finish this thing out to 53 like it said. Yep. Oh, yeah. Let's read this whole thing, bruh. I'm sorry, y'all. We reading to 57. It's not going to take long. We got about a couple more minutes. Let's get it. It's a double Sabbath anyway. What's up, dog? That's facts. That's bars right there. Hey, let's get it, bro. So now, all right, 38. Then the priest shall go out of the house to the door of the house and shut up the house 7 days. All right? Because that's the number of completion. Right? And the priest shall come again the 7th day and shall look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the walls of the house, then the priest shall command that they take away the stone. We read all this and they scraped it. So we finished at 41. So now let's go to 42. And they shall take other stones and put them in the place of those stones, and he shall take other mortar and shall plaster the house. Well, that's how you know you're dealing with some type of mold or mildew, right? Because that's the same process you got to take to remove it today. Because I done it and seen it, right? In my own house, right? And if the plague come again and break out in the house. And you know that's what water damage can cause. So be careful with water damage and your windows and all of that, right? In the houses today, right? I wonder what would have caused it back in the day with stones and stuff like that. They had better stuff back all the way back then than a lot of these fake. See, I'm blessed enough to live in a real house. If you know what a real house is, them houses that was made in the 40s and 50s, the World War II, around that time, in the 40s, those are real houses. These 5-minute houses today, they put them up in 5 minutes. The materials ain't solid, ain't real structured. But that's another lesson, right? Anyway, it's related. We talking about houses. 43, and if the plague come again, it can come back and break out in the house after that he hath taken away the stones, and after he hath scraped the house, and after it is plastered, then the priest shall come and look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the house, it is a fretting leprosy in the house. It is unclean. Dang, it's fretting. So what does fretting mean? Fretting means, I guess it's not going away, it's coming back, right? So what does fretting mean? Let's look at the word fretting. What does fretting mean? Because that's crazy. It just keep coming back. Oh, it means painful, irritating. It's an irritant. So that's why it keeps coming back. That's just like allergies. They'll keep coming back. It's an irritant. It's fretting. It's picking. It's picking at it. It's painting the house, right? And look at your the priest was everything. The priest was like he was the handyman too. He was Home Improvement, like the show Home Improvement, right? He looking at your house. Remember Home Improvement with the fence? Y'all remember that? Oh man, but anyway. So now you got a fretting leprosy. In verse 45, and he shall break down the house, the stones of it, and the timber thereof, and all the mortar of the house, and he shall carry them forth out of the city into an unclean place. Wow. My bro said it's a double Sabbath. I feel that. Moreover, it's a back to back. You know what I'm saying? Back to back. Hey. But moreover, he that goeth into the house all the while that it is shut up shall be unclean until the evening. And he that lieth in the house shall wash his clothes, and he that eateth in the house shall wash his clothes. And if the priest shall come in and look upon it, and behold, the plague hath not spread in the house after the house was plastered, then the priest shall pronounce the house clean. Hey, you good now. It didn't come back. Because the plague is healed, right? I had to heal my house of some mildew, mold, leprosy. And he shall take to cleanse the house 2 birds and cedar wood and scarlet and hyssop. See, but you can't do this part, really. You can't do this part, right? Because, I mean, you could get these things, but it says you're not doing this because look at this. And he shall kill the one of the birds. You ain't doing no sacrifices. That's why you do the things that can remain, right? In an earthen vessel over running water, right? We don't have no water of purification for cleanliness laws today. And he shall take the cedar wood and the hyssop and the scarlet and the living bird and dip them in the blood of the slain bird. What? And in the running water and sprinkle the house 7 times. See, you can't do that today, brothers and sisters. You can't do that today. And he shall cleanse the house with the blood of the bird. Look at that. All you can do is scrape it off and replaster, right? Oh God, we got another McNoob. That good question. My boy laughing. What's up, Cole? And he shall cleanse the house with the blood of the bird, and with the running water, and with the living bird, and with the cedar wood, and with the hyssop, and with the scarlet. 53. But he shall let go the living bird out of the city into the open fields, and make an atonement for the house, and it shall be clean. This is the law of all manner of plague of leprosy and scald, and for the leprosy of the garment and of the house. You see that? You got different types of leprosy. And for rising, and for a scab, and for a bright spot, to teach when it is unclean and when it is clean. This is the law of leprosy. So all praise to the Most High. And we have, okay, so peace to Destiny Israel, peace family, and to Megnoob. That's a great question. We're going to answer it. Good evening. I was wondering tomorrow, are we allowed to do our own pleasure, like playing games, or is it supposed to be like a normal Sabbath? That is a great, great question. So for your feast days, let me read y'all some instructions for the feast days, right? And yes, the answer is yes, you can do your pleasure because it is a high day, okay? So let's read you something. Actually, we in Leviticus. Let's go to Leviticus 23. And we done after this, unless Destiny got a question. But after this, I think we're going to be closing out. So all praises, and thank everybody for their questions, right? It is a double Sabbath, like Bro Cole said. Cold world. It's still a cold world. What they know about that, right? Shout out to J. Cole, man. So, Jermaine Cole. What y'all know about that? RDC world, man. What y'all know about that? Oh, man. Anyway, Leviticus 23. And let's pick it up at the feast days. We're looking at the feast days. So, verse 1, and then we're going to read to you how we supposed to enjoy, right? And we're going to show you that you can do your pleasures on the feast, okay? So, and the Lord spake, because you're supposed to be feasting. That's why you can also cook once the sun goes down. Even though it's a Sabbath, you can cook, okay? So, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. These are my feasts. So let's look at the feast of the Lord, right? So on the weekly feast, the weekly Sabbath, right? It says 6 day, verse 3, Leviticus 23. We started at verse 1. Now we have verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. But then it goes into the annual feasts. Verse 4, these are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. In the 14th day of the first month, which is Abib, at even is the Lord's Passover. And that's where we had the Passover, right? Here's our calendar. And we had the Passover when? On Abib. When? Of course, we had it on the 13th day in the evening, which was April 22nd, brothers and sisters. Abib 13 at sundown was the Passover. And then the Feast of Unleavened Bread was the 14th day at sundown, which begins the 15th day of Abib. And that was April, brothers and sisters. That was April 22nd. So now you start counting for the first fruits. You started counting the first fruits, right? On the first fruits came out on the 5th day of unleavened bread, right? That's how it would have been if the Passover was at sundown, right? Because remember, it's always the morrow after the Sabbath, right? So the Sabbath, that means it's a Sunday, so the first day of the week. So the Sabbath was on Abib 18, and the first fruits came out at Abib 19. And then you start counting your week 1, your week 2, your week 3, your week 4, your week 5, right? Your week 6, and then your week 7. And on the Sabbath day, now you got 49 days, and the morrow after that will be today at sundown, which is Pentecost at sundown, right? So we are on day 9 of the Lord's 3rd month, brothers and sisters. day 9 of the Lord's 3rd month. But on man's calendar, it's the 15th. And at sundown, it'll be the 16th, which will be Pentecost. Okay? So now, what does it say about Pentecost in the Bible, though? Go to verse 15 and 16. Right? Go to verse 15 and 16. It says, and ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that you broke the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. That's why it's the morrow after the Sabbath, right? Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall you number 50 days, and you shall offer new meat offering unto the Lord. That meat offering is showing you that you feasting, brothers and sisters. You feasting. 17, you shall bring out your habitations 2 wave loaves of 2 tin deals. They shall be fine flour. They shall be baking with leaven. They are first fruits unto the Lord. You also bake. You can bake. You can cook, right? You can cook. So you can feast. That means you can have fun. You can play your games, right? You can play your PlayStation. You can play the PS5. Actually, we be doing PS5. Hey, we be hooking it up. On at the feast, we be partying, listening to good music. Where the party at, right? Because it's the feast of the Lord. You can do your pleasures, right? On this feast day, brothers and sisters. And verse 21, it says, verse 21, and ye shall proclaim on the same day that it may be a holy convocation unto you. You shall do no servile work. Notice how I say you shall do no servile work, because that's working for pay. But you can do work for the feast because it's a feast. See, he says no servile work. On the 7th day, that's the difference. On the Sabbath day, it says no work, period. On the feast day, it says no servile work. That means work for pay, but you can do work for the feast because it's a feast. Even though it's a high Sabbath, it's still a feast that overrides the normal Sabbath, 7-day Sabbath rules and regulations. No servile work then, it shall be a statute forever in all your generations. Right? So all praise to the Most High God. And we're going to read you your feast instructions, and that'll be it. Yes, because it's no servile work, you can. What's up, Sister Destiny? Great question. Because you can do no servile work, your question is, are we not able to buy on the feast day? Nope. You can't buy. That's why I told people on Facebook and on Instagram and on WhatsApp and on our group chats to make sure that since it's a back-to-back Sabbath, that you get everything done on either Thursday night or before Friday at sundown, because we cannot buy or sell. Because remember, no servile work, that means no work for pay. That means you cannot buy or sell. You see? We just read that part. No servile work, right? You welcome. Praise God. Yeah, always asking video game related questions. Hey, that's funny. Hey, that's all good. It's all good in the hood, fam. You already know. That's funny. Hey, look, I got a PS5 at the crib. I might get on that jump soon as I get back. What's up? You know? Might play a little 2K or might play a little Call of Duty, a little COD or whatever. So that's all good, you know what I'm saying? And that new Call of Duty, that Black Ops 6, I saw the ad for that. That looks crazy. All right, and I know everybody waiting for GTA 6 or whatever. So whatever. So it's all good though. You know what I'm saying, family? But yes. Good, glad that you did get all that you needed to get, Sister Destiny, and peace, McNew, bro, all of y'all. So, hey, I'm glad that you got everything that you got, sis, and just craving some cornbread. You can make some cornbread. It's the feast. You can make some cornbread. If you don't have the mix, you can't, unless you're going to make it from scratch. Right? So, yeah, hopefully, you know, cornbread does sound good. I hope somebody makes some cornbread for tomorrow, y'all. Ooh. But let me just go over the feast instructions, and we're going to close out, brothers and sisters. This was a great Q&A session. I'm glad these questions came in. Bruh, do we have anything on Facebook?
No, sir.
Okay, good. We're going to close out after this. So peace to everybody. I hope y'all got some understanding. And we're just going to close out with a feast instruction list, okay? So that's going to make everything as plain as day. And I will also, oh, man, my bad, McNoob. My bad. It's just the last name. My bad. My fault. McNoob's a sister. So we got Sister Destiny and Sister McNoob. Peace, family. Peace. My bad, sis. I ain't know. My fault. So, and shout out to all the sisters that be gaming too. That's really cool. And so we're gonna end on this note, and we are going to. I'm also gonna post this. If you don't follow the ICOJ DMV on Facebook, follow it on Facebook. If you go to our Instagram page, you will see these feast instructions. It's on the stories, okay? But I'm going to also post it on the Facebook page. So we're at ICOJ DMV on everything, brothers and sisters. Okay, my bad, sis, my bad. I know for the future. Now I know. All right, all praise to the Most High. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to finish this out by reading the feast instructions, and we're going to close out, brothers and sisters. We're going to read the feast instructions, and we're going to close out. All right, in Jesus' mighty name, in Yeshua's mighty name, we hope you got some understanding. In Jesus' name, brothers and sisters, I'm happy that everybody is on one accord, and we got our understanding, and we doing the will and the work of the Lord, okay? So we're going to finish this out with the instruction list, okay? So, the Feast of the Lord instructions, okay? All the Lord's holy days begin at sundown and end the following sundown. The seventh day of the week, holy gathering, held. Sabbath, no work is permitted. No cooking allowed on the normal Sabbath. The Passover is a memorial, is held on the eve, partaking unleavened bread. On the eve, right, in the evening, partaking unleavened bread and wine. It is not a Sabbath, so work, buying, selling, and cooking is permitted. The first and seventh day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, holy gatherings held, high Sabbaths, no work permitted, except feasting. Cooking is allowed. Unleavened bread must be eaten for 7 days, and no leavened bread can be eaten. It should all be removed before the first day from your house. Unleavened bread, days 2 to 6 are not Sabbaths. Work is permitted. However, feasting is in order. Then we get to Pentecost, and that's where we are here. The Feast of Pentecost, a holy gathering, high Sabbath, yes. But no work is permitted except feasting, cooking is allowed, and your own pleasures, okay? So you can do that. You can drink. Oh, let's go to one more place and show you what you can do on the feast days. And we're going to close out with this. Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 14. I'm sorry, brothers and sisters. We're going to read 2 places and then we're closing out. We're going to read this and one more place, okay? Deuteronomy 16. It says, Deuteronomy 14 and 22. We're going to start at 22. All right? Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed that the field bringeth forth year by year. And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose to place his name there, the tithe of thy corn, of thy wine, and of thine oil, and the firstlings of thy herds and of thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always. And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Lord thy God shall choose to set his name there, when the Lord thy God hath blessed thee, then shalt thou turn it into money, and bind up the money in thy hand, and shalt go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose, and thou shalt bestow that money for whatsoever thy soul lusteth after. And this is talking about what you can do on the feast for oxen. So I know we love some oxtails. Or for sheep, you like that curry goat. or for wine so you can drink, or even for strong drink, some Hennessy, right? Or some bourbon, some whiskey, right? Or for whatsoever thy soul desireth, and thou shalt eat there before the Lord thy God, and thou shalt rejoice, thou and thy household, on the feast days. That's what you can do. So as long as it's clean food, you can eat it. As long as you're not getting drunk, you can drink it. And I'm gonna just show you that you're supposed to never show up empty-handed for the Lord's feast days. You always want to bring either a donation or something to contribute to the feast, like a big potluck. So whether it's some water, like this year, because I'm not, I drink on the Passover occasions. You know what I'm saying? Just occasions. I don't drink like I used to, as far as and even on the feast it's okay, but I'm gonna choose not to when we there. So I used to bring like champagne, but I'm just bringing some all types of flavored ginger ales. We got the raspberry lemonade ginger ale, we got the normal lemonade ginger ale, and I'm just bringing ginger ale and waters, right? But if you want to have some wine, you can have some wine. Okay? So now let's look at how you don't want to come empty-handed. So if you like wine, you can bring some wine. If you like cornbread, make some cornbread and bring some cornbread, right? But make sure you bringing something to participate to the feast, because it's the feast of the Lord, and you don't want to come up empty-handed to participate in the feast of the Lord, right? That's why it's telling you to bring the ox, the sheep, whatever you want, right? So now, let's show you that. Let's go over, we in Deuteronomy 14. Let's go over to Deuteronomy 16, and we done, y'all. All right? So Deuteronomy 16, and we gonna pick it up at verse 16. All right, and we done. We're gonna close out after this. Got all our questions in, praise God. 3 times in a year, this is Deuteronomy 16 and 16. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread and the feast of weeks. Well, don't we count 7 weeks to get to Pentecost? And then the morrow after the Sabbath makes it 50, so 7 times 7, 49. That's why it's called the Feast of Weeks. So that's Pentecost. So you got the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of Weeks, and in the Feast of Tabernacles, and they shall not appear before the Lord empty. So you don't want to come empty-handed to the feast days, brothers and sisters. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he has given thee. So you want to do whatever you're able to bring, and this time around, I'm able to bring some waters and some ginger ale. That's what I'm going to do. All right, bring whatever your soul desire and whatever you can, but you do not want to appear empty. This is a commandment from God. Okay? So, with that being said, brothers and sisters, I hope you got some understanding in these beautiful questions from these beautiful people. All praise to the Most High, to my brothers and my sisters. May everybody have a blessed Pentecost in Jesus' mighty name. It's about that time, y'all. So, we turning up righteously in the spirit, and we're going to close out. If that's all minds are clear, if we all good, we're going to stand up. We're going to face Jerusalem, and we're going to close out. Shout out to my brothers that's here with me, to my soldiers that's here with me. Peace to everybody that's online, and peace to you and your families in Jesus' mighty name. All right, so we're going to close it out. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. In Jesus' mighty name, the Holy One of Israel, the Mighty One of Jacob, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Amen. All right. Peace, everybody. See you next time. Blessed back-to-back Sabbath and blessed Pentecost. Catch you next time on the flip.